Hi.
She's not.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian. I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I despise Hallmark Christmas movies and
Hallmark.
That's the Hallmark. It's his podcast. Who gave that tree a mic?
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, everybody. Can you believe it?
Hopefully we had some somehow we were in a magazine or something, and so this is someone's first episode, and we did a donkey intro.
That would be nice.
That would be great.
That would be nice.
That's how we retain listeners.
It is
Easiest way.
It is Friday.
Friday, as they say.
And it's wild how things are happening now because there's already now another movie out, and it's just like, how do we keep up with this? What do we do? Well, the answer is we just kind of let it happen.
Yeah,
guys,
just keep doing our thing.
We're just gonna do our thing, and we hope that you join us. But here's the good news: is you're watching us right now, hopefully on Philo, Philo.tv/DTH. Go ahead and save the movie for tonight, Saturday, Sunday. Save us on your DVR so you get notified every time we put out something. Because here's the thing. This is the season for Philo. Philo's wonderful all year long. We talk about it on the Philo Deep Dive. But it hits different during the holiday season. So many Christmas
Unlimited
movies.
DVR, all the channels you want to watch Christmas movies on.
It's amazing.
It's just the best.
It's amazing.
One button ad skip. Utilize that today in the office.
Yep.
Ooh, sure.
Abuse it, some might say.
Yeah, some might say.
Yeah, it's great. So shout out to Philo. Love you guys. Guys, here's a question for you. How great has this weather been this
Philo
week?
just canceled.
This just
Philo just dropped us.
No, they wouldn't. They did not find us on there. Guys, how great is this weather this week?
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable. Nice and cold out.
Top 5 best things you did this week, weather related.
Weather related.
It's the weather
Trick or treating now with the kids. The weather is perfect,
The
Brandon.
weather was perfect for that.
Yeah. What else? I liked when we went bobsledding.
I will say this. I did something I've not done since probably January or February of this year, and that was drink a hot cup of coffee, which I did.
Why'd you do that?
Because it was cold enough outside, and I was in the office, and there was coffee.
Drank a hot cup of coffee.
right.
Hold it with two hands, blow on
I did.
it?
I did a little right here.
Guys,
yeah.
I want to just say
Wind chill
this.
was 26 out there. It was cold.
There are a lot of Dan stands out there. The fanfic is wild. But here's the thing.
Disgusting, actually.
You haven't lived until you've seen cute little Dan with his massive man hands wrapping his hands around a mug and blowing into it. It's magical, it's wonderful, and it's for adults only.
There was a lot there I didn't like.
You guys ready to talk
Yes,
about-
I did drink a cup of coffee. Yes.
You guys ready to talk about Joyeux, Noel? Mr. Thompson, yes,
Yeah,
exactly right.
yeah.
You guys ready to talk about
I don't
Joy?
have a Mr. Thompson mug. I don't have one.
What if you
I've
did?
got a cup
Coach
that says
Thompson?
The Big Show on it.
You sure
I've got
do.
that. Somebody sent me
Accurate.
that one time.
You guys ready to talk about the Joyeux Noel?
Joyeux Noel.
Joya?
Joyeux Noel.
Joya?
Joyeux. Get out of here, Joyeux.
Joya!
Ask not what you can do for you. No, Joyeux.
Joya.
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 Joya. Noel, October 29th, 2023, or a little something like this. Leah is sharing a romantic love story, and her mom basically is just like, get out of your fairy tale nonsense. Fall in love with a real man like your dad. I fell in love with it. Please don't fall in love with your dad. I'm sorry, that came out weird. Leah is holding out for the real ooey gooey type of love that we're all waiting for. And she's into antiques, and she finds this old jewelry box. Inside of this box is a notebook with a sketch of a Christmassy town. She says, I know this town. It matches up with a mysterious painting that the town is abuzz about. And apparently this notebook inside of this little box belonged to the artist that painted this mysterious painting.
Formerly known
Hot on the
as-
case.
So she uses this little notebook as inspiration for a story to write. She is hoping for a promotion so that she can no longer be called copy editor and instead a journalist. So when a team meeting is called, Leah makes this her chance to pitch to go to France to see a small town where two lovers are destined to fall in love according to the legend of the painting. Her boss loves this idea and approves it for a real journalist named Mark, Moody Mark, if you will. But Leah says, it's my notebook. I'm going. And she says, okay, fine. On a French train, Leah presents her plan to Mark. He says, that's dumb. I'm going to sleep. He gets to the B&B, tries to get more sleep. Keeps getting awakened by this crazy, intrusive little French girl. Leah explores the Christmas markets and starts to what I can only assume is trip on mushrooms, and everything gets fuzzy and spinny, and a hunk walks up.
Real funny, man.
She realizes that this hunk is Mark, and he helps her get to the B&B for sleep. The next morning, they get to work. Mark says, step one, you say, we need to talk. You walk, you say, sit down. It's just to talk. You smile politely back at you. You stare politely right on through. There's some sort of window to the right.
Yeah.
You say left and you stay right.
There was no exit ramp there, and I was fascinated to see where you were going to find one.
Yeah.
And now you're out of breath.
Okay.
Awoken
in the walk. Joyeux. So Mark says, step one, we need to figure out who made the jewelry box. Duh. So they decide, if anyone's going to know, it's a woodworker fellow. So they go, and the guy is basically like, well, all I can tell you is that you're destined to fall in love. That's just what happens around here. And they ask other vendors about the box, getting nowhere. So Leah is like, this isn't working. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go step by step through this story and figure out what happened. That way we can kind of finish the story. So first there's a candy apple situation, saw them live, and they're dancing and they're doing all this stuff. They notice a symbol on the bakery stand, which is a symbol that something about the painting frame or something or other. It's all, but this is, you're doing the thing and you're trying to figure stuff out, but wouldn't it just be nice if you could just find it out? Yes, it would. So let's Google some stuff and find pictures and stuff. So they do that, and they're going around and they're asking people all sorts of questions, and everybody's basically like, we can't help you, but we're in love. And that's what you need to know. Love happens here. You're going to find love, blah, 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 all that good stuff. They end up having some fun with each other, mainly on a little mini carousel for dolls. That's all I can assume. But they have fun until it breaks, or it's just a short ride. Who can say? I don't know. They get to the cathedral, and they put some things together, and he realizes, or they realize, information will be behind like a mirror or under a mirror or around in or around the mirror vicinity.
Area.
And so he tries to find it while she distracts the church security guard. We all have them. And he finds it. It's this information, this little note that basically is from the guy. And it's like, hey, you never showed up. Deuce is wild, B. And so it's like not the love story that we were hoping for. And so he decides not to tell her that, wanting to like protect her. But then when she finds out, she gets real mad. And she's like, you didn't tell me, blah, 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 all this good stuff. And so they're mad at each other for a little while until they're hanging out. And they hear a little French tune, a little French ditty about Jack dying, sucking on chili dog, and somehow that all makes
Paris,
it all. Yeah, that's good.
Thanks.
That's
all
good.
Right.
Jack and Diane.
Oh no, Scott, said it again.
Sucking on chili dogs. It all comes together, realizes that this French tune is the same tune inside the box that this guy was playing on the squeeze box, if you will. I'll call it an accordion. You call it a squeeze box. Apples, ooples. And so they go and they're like, yep. That is the guy, and he's like, "Good news, everybody."
The Ooples guy. I assume.
You are the
Ooples guy.
You can say Ooples. 6 of one, half dozen.
So they go to talk to the Ooples
like,
guy.
of
Baker's dozen of the other.
They go to talk to the Ooples guy who's playing a squeeze box, and he's like, "Yep, that was me. Good news, I fell in love with someone else and had a big family, and it's actually been coming up aces for me." And so the two lovebirds dance and they kiss, and the town square has done it again. And that, my friends, was Joyeux Noel.
We did it.
We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
We're going to come back. We're going to rave about this movie here on Technical Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark. Oui, Deck the Hallmark.
Hello. It's your good friend Bran. We're talking about Joyeux Noel. Also, Joyeux Tigers, for those of you out there. Let's talk about this movie. Let's break it down with 4 segments. We're going to start with the hot take, is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not mess around. Brian.
Yeah.
Go first.
Okay. This was just okay for me. Not as fun as I thought it would be. Like the whole chasing down a mystery, retracing the steps, it kind of works for me. Or the idea of it works for me. I just thought of it now. Our Italian Christmas Memories last year had something like that, and I really like that movie. That's right, exactly. Lots of donkey in that one.
That's right.
It really worked for me. This one didn't. Like the idea of the mystery, I like a mystery, but just the execution of it, like once they got into basing everything on sending a journalist overseas is immediately I'm out. Like that just doesn't work for me anymore ever. Like, and then on top of it,
journalists should never go overseas.
they don't go overseas. No, absolutely not. Chasing down a puff piece story, like it's just too. It's too far for me. And on top of that, 2 journalists going overseas for a puff piece around Christmas time because they're not busy. Like I don't like that idea. And so whenever that is the premise, how a story starts out, I'm sort of out already. France was nice. We could have seen more, I feel like. More seal for sure. More donkeys. I feel like there would definitely be more donkeys in the streets.
Donkey on the line? Donkey?
We got him?
Donkey?
Do we have him? Is he
Donkey,
here?
are you there?
Oh, wow.
Donkey,
What a
buddy, how are
treat.
you?
Noel.
Thank you.
Best of the year.
Best of the
Best
year.
of the year? Why do you think it's
Why?
the best of the year?
Trains and carousels. Donkeys love them.
You've been on a carousel?
Hoof spots.
What?
Hoof spots.
They got hoof spots on the carousel?
spots.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Very comfortable.
Hey, Dominic,
Like massages.
you like massages?
Go.
Or they like them on your hoofs?
Yeah.
They're
like
like massages.
massages.
Got it.
That's surprising you can feel it.
Can I ask you this? Now I wonder, have you ever had an actual massage?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you excited for
Just
the whole...
hoof massage.
Are you excited?
Carousel. Train.
This is your big season, Dominic. Are you excited?
Sure is.
You're real
did it.
excited.
My line.
Trademark TM.
All right, buddy. Love you.
Hasta la vista.
Oh,
To the chop.
I love that. All right,
That's a
bye,
spicy
bud.
Is he
meatball.
working on his Arnie there?
Yeah, that was good.
Everybody
Weird.
seems
Hey,
to
Dom.
be.
Dom.
Still got him?
Hey, can you give me a get to the chopper or something?
That's right.
Okay, go.
Ready?
Ready.
Ready?
Ready.
Get to the chopper. That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Oh, my
This is
goodness.
amazing.
He sounds
Identical.
just like Arnold
Yes.
Schwarzenegger.
That's amazing. He's been holding out.
to know 2 people that have that good of an impression
Yeah.
of Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bri. Fine with the scenery. I do feel like we were there. We were like really on a train. It felt like like there was a scene that actually happened on the train. There was kind of a carousel. And so like things were coming up
Question
aces.
of carousel.
I do, I am with Brian in that I don't like this. I don't think. I think I like this idea more than I like it playing out, because it's really just two people just kind of going and hearing other people's stories to help put together the big story. And then by the time we get to the big story, I no longer really care all that much because I just want this love story. And so I thought that the two of them were fine overall, but none of it really was a home run for me. It was just an okay. There are most of the other movies so far this season I would rather watch again before this one. Not saying I wouldn't watch this one again, but I don't think I would be seeking this one out, unfortunately. And now I know though that when, we do the interview here or there during this time of the year, when someone asks the question that we get asked a lot, which is like, what's the trope that you're ready to be done with? I think this is my new answer. Like, I don't want the mystery thing. I just want people to fall in love and that be the end of it. Dano?
Yeah, I think that J.C. Elliott and Brant Daugherty actually have really good chemistry in this movie. And I was alone on that in The Office. I think they do. I think their chemistry is really good. I think France... Oh, you were with me on that?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, great. So Aaron was with me. These two were wrong. Perfect.
The Christmas tree's with you too.
Of course. Well, the Christmas tree's always with me. As a choice, we mic'd him up. But I think France is lovely, and I think their commitment to shooting on all of these moving vehicles was great. That's not a joke. I think it was really great. The problem is that is butting up against the insurmountable terribleness that is the plot line of, we found this old thing and now we have to go find the origin of it. If your name is not signed, sealed, delivered, you cannot do that on the Hallmark Channel. It doesn't work. It never works. We get one or two of them a year and they're always bad or boring or both. And so this movie has two leads that I actually really liked together and scenery that I really liked in a movie that just... you could see the movie in a fight with its leads, and the boredom fight. I said fight.
Is there a fight?
We'll
Did
wait
you
for
see
it.
it?
Wait.
Do we have an
expert?
I wish we had an expert eye.
In a metaphorical fight with its leads, the leads wanting it to be charming and good and like original, and the movie wins out. The movie continues to just pummel them with boring details of this music box and this journal and this story they read as a child. And by the end, you just don't care. And the payoff is, we'll talk about it the way it was. The payoff, to call it a payoff is an offense to payoffs. It is not, it's non-existent. The payoff here is non-existent, not worth the trouble. And so unfortunately, just not very good or very memorable. It is higher than the bottom of the list for me. It's not in my bottom 3 this year, but it is not good. I think this has been a weak crop of movies, and this is another one so far.
I honestly never really thought about how carousels are like massages for donkeys.
The hooves, yeah.
And it's on like that's it's kind of beautiful.
It really is.
Like I didn't even know they needed that. So, like, let's start the campaign. Get all donkeys on carousels.
Get all donkeys
by 2024 or something
carousels.
like that. That's actually a really fast turnaround. Maybe by 2025, we'll give it a full year, and we'll put them all. We'll put them. We'll get every donkey from Washington State, where I met a guy named Glenn, and Rhode Island, where I met a donkey named Jane, to everywhere in between where there's a lot more donkeys, but I wasn't interested in going there. All on carousels.
Wide with Bob.
It's time for all the fields where we're talking about those. Don't tempt me with a fantastic time. The best time.
God bless America. They announced Creed was coming to Simpsonville a day ago, and we have not been able to stop talking about it.
Focus.
And we don't even have tickets.
We don't have tickets.
If someone wants to buy the Office tickets, we will go and live stream it. Yes.
Say I won't email asking for tickets. I will. Hey guys, we're covering it. We are covering this concert
for the pod
for a Hallmark themed podcast. Don't ask any questions. Yeah. Give us tickets.
Don't ask questions. We're asking the questions around here.
The questions. If I get to meet Scott, Brian, what's your feels?
It was hard to find, but when I thought about it, I guess my feels is when they first get to France and he goes to bed. Big mistake. And she goes down to the market and she's got her little translation dictionary and she's like actually trying to get into the culture and communicate and be part of what's going on. That would be my feels, because I would be the guy heading to the hotel to the inn. I wouldn't be doing that stuff. And I wish I was that person. So I guess that's the feels, is her just diving right in and not kind of being afraid to not know the language, but still try her best to experience it.
Yeah. First of all, I'm excited that Brant is going on tour with Creed. The Daughtry's going on tour.
Daughtry is?
Lucky
Oh, no,
him,
Daughtry.
man.
Different, not Daughtry.
Should we ask for those passes back? Tell them we're all set?
Oh, we'll make it work.
I'm going home. Is that Creed or Daughtry? You don't know.
How dare you?
It's where I belong.
That's
can you-
3 doors down, I believe.
Is it Lifehouse? I'm
mistaken.
falling even more.
Okay,
Nope.
we don't have time for
Kryptonite. Yeah. Man, what a time for music. And
Man, there
Switchfoot.
was 3 years where every male-led band sounded the exact same.
Yeah.
I always think about those
And
bands.
sometimes they featured Santana.
when all the stars aligned. When all the stars
Just
aligned.
like the ocean under the moon.
Rob said, I'll do this song, but I need it to be a solo track with just me,
That's
not
right.
Matchbox 20.
No, they don't want to get any royalties off
his
this.
song is going to be too
It's
big.
going to be the biggest song of all time. We'll play
I'll
it.
split it with Santana.
Yeah.
Song's not nothing without
Name
Santana.
me one more band member of Matchbox 20.
Michael McGillick.
Skibo Phillips.
Skibo Phillips, yep. I was going to
Pretty close.
The end of this movie looked fantastic. So like when she's reading the thing and they
Squeeze
go to the
box?
guy with the squeeze box,
Yeah.
ooples, and it's snowing and the people are coming up. Like it looked really good. To Dan's point, like we get that, and I'm like, I wish I was more excited about it than I am, but I did think that it looked fantastic, and even just seeing it still somehow gave me feels because I'm a sucker. Dan?
Yeah, shout out to the director of this film
Yeah.
because the
Dusty
director
Phillips.
is probably for hire and doesn't have a lot of control over the story and how boring it is. But
Jessica Harmon.
and maybe the director and the DP on it or the editor, because the shots that they come up with Brand noticed it first when they're on the train, I think they're really on a moving train. It feels very organic. It feels like you're really there. When they're on that little tram car, all of these scenes are very well shot, well lit, and you get the best of the actors in those scenes. And I think a lot of that is what saved it from being the worst for me is from a director's standpoint, it seemed like a level up on what we had seen. We've seen so far this year. So those are my feels.
And when that carousel comes around for the second time in 5 seconds,
And then
it
stops. Yeah.
Magical.
Which they slowed it down for it to be take 5 seconds.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the wait, what, and the what the Hallmark, and then we will check in on that fight. I do think it's going to be a close one. We'll find out with Vic here on Deck the Hallmark.
Sexy Hallmark.
Exit Hallmark.
Give me a baguette. It's time for the wait, what.
Yeah,
It is where we talk
I
about.
think he was trying to say baguette, but he said baguette, like the Bible, like Joseph Baguette Esau or whatever. Give me a baguette. Can I get a baguette, please? And some bagnets.
It's time for the wait, what. Right?
Yeah. The Sophie, the 11-ish-year-old girl.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Just
Precocious child.
yeah, just walking straight in.
Oh
to
my gosh.
the room. Like whether he says come in or not, which he didn't. Just being allowed to just roam into people's rooms freely is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a culture. Maybe in France it's different. It just seemed really
not.
weird. I mean, straight into he's right there in bed. Like could have gone
Sleeping.
way wrong. Yeah, he was just sleeping. Like that was scary.
You think he got into France jet lagged and
Yeah.
immediately just took somebody back to his room?
No, he could have been. What if he was in the shower or coming out of the shower? What if nobody was in there? What if somebody else was in there? It wasn't him. Like a lot could go wrong.
A lot could go wrong.
A lot could go wrong.
The French lady, I forget her name. But they went to her house because she had. I forget what her house had to do with it, but she didn't know them. LaFleur, sure.
In the painting, used to live in that.
The girl in the painting used to live in that house, so
F.
they went to the
LaFleur.
house. F. LaFleur, exactly.
F. McFleur.
Yep.
Who's that? F. McFleur.
Yeah, exactly. F. LaFleur.
Come on,
They
man.
went
7
there.
o'clock. Hey, who's that over there? F. McFleur.
7 o'clock.
So they go there, and she just was like, "Sure, come on in, go through all my boxes." Like, have fun, whatever you want. Again, like they're just so inviting, I guess. Maybe it's a French culture thing where everybody is just more inviting unless you bump into them on the street. And then Sophie was fun, I guess. Oh, no, that was the other one I had. And so, this was, I don't know if this happened more than once, but when it did happen, it was just very weird to me when he found the notes under the mirror and they're written in English and not French. Like, I know they speak French as a different language. Do they not write in French?
Yeah, that you would think that they would write in French. I
don't know if they do or not,
yeah.
because I think they just write in English. So that was it for me.
I have a few. Before leaving to go to France, she packs and then spends the rest of her evening just reading the English to French dictionary, which I love. Because, of course, you're going to be able to memorize it all and become super fluent in French.
Just one night.
Just one night through that sucker and you'll be good to go.
Sleep on it.
Early on in this movie, at the newspaper, they're calling him Moody Mark. And you're like, that's weird. I guess, he's moody, whatnot. It turns out that he gave himself the nickname Moody Mark so that people wouldn't bother him.
Leave him alone.
But, like, how does that come to be? How do you first introduce yourself to somebody as, you can call me Moody Mark? Like, hey, guys, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny? You guys know how sometimes I'm mad? Wouldn't it be funny if you guys called me Moody Mark?
You could, make it more of an Inception thing. Like, you could write something somewhere. Like, you could go in the bathroom stall.
Right,
be like, Moody Mark's the worst.
Moody Mark was here. Yeah. Moody Mark he's going up behind people and just being like, Moody Mark's the worst.
That's right. Yeah.
Just like behind him as he walks by.
Hey, did somebody just call me Moody Mark?
Oh, yeah.
Who called me that?
No one said a thing.
Mark,
somebody just called me Moody Mark.
Did you just give yourself a nickname? Is that what you did?
Someone called me Moody Mark. Probably because
said that.
I'm rough around the edges.
You're not that rough. Like, you're never moody.
You should probably leave me alone.
They call me Moody Mark. They do.
They do.
Who is they?
I am going to make it my life's mission to give myself a nickname.
You literally tried it with Hallmark Daddy and it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't?
When was the last time we said it before now?
Earlier this week.
I think yesterday.
Yeah, I think just yesterday. I think it was just yesterday.
Did you say it though?
No, Brian did.
God, yeah.
Brian.
So reset the
Because
clock.
Brian,
Start it now.
days
without incident. That's exactly
days without
right.
Hallmark Daddy incident. Dano?
This woman's never been out of the country. Never really thought about it, has a passport, thank God, just in case, I guess. And then decides she's going to, as Bran mentioned, really start to brush up on her French to English dictionary because she does not have, nor has she ever seen, a phone. Literally, your phone will translate for you in any space.
Those things.
She has a book out looking up one word at a time as French people say them. You know how to spell those words, lady. Just hold the thing up and it'll translate for you. It's 2023. The fact that she has an old tattered English to French dictionary is crazy to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't get past it. It was unbelievable. We've mentioned the carousel a few times. We need to mention a few more. Is it a center for ants? The carousel. My kids who are
No, it's
7,
a massage for donkeys.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
My 7-year-old boys would not be interested in that carousel. They would say that the carousel is too small. Yeah. They'd be like, no, I'll pass on the carousel. This carousel has 6 animals on it. It's about 10 feet in diameter. And one time around, then it stops. Yeah. I mean, maybe if you're an infant, you'll be on board with this, or a toddler, maybe. And they ride it like they're experiencing dinner under the Eiffel Tower. They are so in on this carousel.
Neil Bledsoe wouldn't have given this carousel the time of day.
No, he wouldn't have.
No.
And also, she doesn't want to get on the carousel because of motion sickness. Now, need I remind you, she flew overseas, she rode a train and a tram, but the carousel that's as wide as my body lays down, she's like, absolutely not. I can't do it. I'll get motion sickness from going so slow, I guess.
Well, that is a tighter circle. That is more movement.
Tighter, yes.
It is. You can really
see that movement.
Makes me nauseous just thinking about it.
This guy, the number one way to not get over jet lag is to sleep the entire time as soon as you arrive. They get on the train, he sleeps. They get to the hotel. He sleeps. Then it's nighttime and he sleeps some more. You got to power through there, buddy. Like, you're never going to get back on track if you just sleep the whole time. I think it's J.C. Elliott's character. It might be Brant's character. One of them, they're talking to a French couple and they say, do you think it's just placebo effect? And the French couple, English is their second language, and they act like they've heard placebo effect as many times as the word croissant. They're just like, oh yeah, placebo effect. Of course. Yeah. Placebo. Yeah. Like, no. That is a colloquialism that would take, you would have to explain that.
It's not in the dictionary, which means it's the same.
That's right. It just isn't.
It's just the same. It's the same either way.
Yeah. And I'm cool with finding out you had something in common with somebody else when you were kids. But the things that they had in common were a children's book called The Doctor and the Maid and presenting papers on nuclear non-proliferation at the Model United Nations. You won the lottery. Like, there's just no world where you're going to find someone else where those are the things you had in common. It's not like you both like sports or movies or art. You both presented papers on nuclear non-proliferation at the Model. Just stick with Model UN. We don't have to get any more specific than that.
I got my leg cut off. They put a donkey leg on it. Me too.
Really? Wow. They both of us have donkey legs.
We both have donkey leg.
That's
One
crazy.
donkey leg.
I wonder if they came from the same donkey.
I ride
same donkey.
I ride the carousel just one leg down, just so that leg gets nice massage on it.
No,
yeah,
it's not the same.
The boss of this newspaper that wants this story for some unknown reason. I don't know why a newspaper needs this story so badly. They'll send a copy editor and a journalist all the way overseas for a week and pay all that money. She says that she can't assign an article to someone who's never written for us. That is how everyone has to start. Everyone has to start as someone that's never written for you. No one is born writing for this publication. Like, it's not how that goes. And then lastly, they find that this old dude on the what'd you call it? The old squeeze box.
Yeah, the old squeeze box, Ooples.
It turns out that this music box belongs to him, and this dude doesn't get a single line in this movie. We have this whole mystery. We find out who it is, and they don't even do him the service of giving him a line, something to showcase like how much this means to him. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that happened. That's all I got.
It's time for the Hallmark is where what could have been. Maybe it was good stuff. Brian,
here already. I didn't prepare anything for this segment. There was nothing really that, like,
I don't know if you know this. We're recording this right now,
I know,
so you're going to have to go ahead.
I guess I wish we spent a little more time in like cafes. Like, I liked when they were sitting there and they were bringing the treats and the pastry and the coffee. I think that's a big part of the culture, right? Sitting and having your coffee and not being disturbed. We didn't spend a lot of time inside French restaurants,
So what
cafes.
the Hallmark segment is where you talk about what might have happened, what could have happened, or questions that we still have.
We spent more time
Your hot
inside.
take is when you talk about what you wanted to see more of.
I know
during the course.
And I did
of the movie.
that.
So
and now I'm like,
we're now in the what the Hallmark
I wonder
section.
if we spent more time inside the cafes, like, would the mystery part not have mattered as much?
Oh yeah.
Really looking forward to this weekend's movies, though. Tell you that right now.
I got one. So there's a painting that everyone's just going nuts over, the mystery and whatnot. And she, in an antique store, discovers this box with his notebook inside of it. Isn't that in and of itself like something to just write about?
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is like, no one seems impressed by this. It's like, that's not enough to go off of. You found the notebook that belongs to this mysterious painter, and everyone's like, do more. Prove it. It's like, this is big deal. This is big.
That was a big deal.
No one cared. Everyone's just kind of like, okay.
They have a ginormous newspaper to fill. It's not a regular size newspaper. It's a ginormous size newspaper.
Yeah. So I just I felt like it was a big deal and no one seemed to care. So
that was the thing that was weird.
Dano? Brian mentioned that this girl go at 10, 11-year-old girl just busting into the room to wake him up.
Yeah.
I want to know if this is just standard procedure for her with all the American guests. Like, What part of this is just a normal part that you would see in the Google reviews? Like great Airbnb, great B&B, quaint, good breakfast. Tween girl wakes you up like just alarmingly quickly in the morning without letting you know.
Pours salt in your coffee.
1 star. Like I just is this just for him or is this part of what that bed and breakfast does as part of their services to the people staying there? Because it's the worst.
The food's really good. Bed's really comfy. Weird little girl.
Maybe a ghost. I don't know.
Also, kids outside keep kicking me in the shin. I don't know if it's related to this B&B.
Anybody
but
else have this problem?
They keep doing this. It's just me. Poor guy. We did, everybody. Congratulations. I will say, not all my answers are not all my questions are answered, and so I think I got to kick it over to my friend Vic Webster and let me know if there was any fighting that we need to be aware of in this movie. So let's take it over to our good friend Vic Webster.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. What's the fighting in the movie? Did someone get hurt? It's a fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
This movie was full of no action.
A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
And I thought we had him that time.
He
Thought for
got
sure
me.
that was going to be the one.
Good to know,
But
though.
it wasn't.
There's always next week,
always
everybody.
next
We're going to be
week.
back tomorrow with our second of 3 Lifetime preview
Christmas
shows.
movie previews. Yeah.
Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas!
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.